Hello and welcome to this match between Beeston and Hampstead and Westminster. This is the first part of our double header special, raising money for the Movember Foundation. This first match has no commentary, so please don't be alarmed if you can't hear any commentary on this match, but please do watch the match. The first match is starting at 4 o'clock, is Beeston Women versus Hampstead and Westminster. Following that, at 6 p.m, you can tune in to see the men's match. There'll be myself, Kellen Griffiths. Joining me will be Steve Musson providing commentary on that match. But the first match coming up in just 5 minutes' time, it's Beeston Women versus Hampstead and Westminster.
Before we start today's match, we commemorate our servicemen and women who've served this country in conflicts gone by and those who continue to serve today. We will mark Remembrance Day with a minute's silence which will start and end on the umpire's whistle. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. kiss someone's a king. Attention please, will the owner of the car with registration plate AJ58YRC, that's AJ58YRC, please report to the cafeteria. Thank you. Goal from the penalty corner for Hampstead and Westminster, number 17, Maddie Ratcliffe. the end of the quarter in this match, Beeston versus Hampstead. That's the end of the first quarter in this match, Beeston versus Hampstead and Westminster women. The score as it stands at the moment is Beeston 0, Hampstead and Westminster 1, from a penalty corner goal by number 17, Maddie Ratcliffe. Don't go away, the quarter time break is only 2 minutes and we'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, is this the 247? Mo.
The Mo is calling. Raise funds, save lives. Sign up at Movember.com.
End of the third quarter, the score remains unchanged. The Bees still on nil, and with Hampstead still having the one goal of the game so far from a penalty point from Maddie Ratcliffe. Again, just to recap, the score at the third quarter is Beeston 0, Hampstead and Westminster 1, entering the final quarter of the game. full time. Final score, Beeston 0, Hampstead and Westminster 1, with the goal coming in the first quarter from penalty corner from Maddie Ratcliffe. Don't go away. At 6 o'clock, we've got the men's match versus Hampstead and Westminster as well. In the meantime, why not head over to the Stick and Pitcher Bar upstairs for a pint or an assortment of all kinds of different drinks, or head down to the Working Man's Kitchen van out the front of the clubhouse for pizzas, with a combination of all sorts of classic and special pizzas. A reminder as well that today is the November hockey special. We're currently running a fundraiser which is just shy of £1,000 so far, so why not Google Beeston Hockey Club November to see what Beeston and the November Foundation have been doing. Some really great work to raise awareness and money for men's health problems. Google Beeston HC November and dig deep. We're very close to £1,000. We'll see you at 6 o'clock.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very chilly Nottingham Hockey Centre for today's Premier League match between Beeston and Hampstead and Westminster. I'm Steve Musson, standing in today for Andy Day, who's been away doing a 10-kilometre run in aid of...
Absolutely, in aid of Alzheimer's Research UK, and from what we've gathered, in a pretty admirable time too.
Good stuff as well. I'm joined this evening by Kellen Griffiths, who's sitting in for me.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Glad to be here with you, Moss.
Yeah. Looking forward to this game because obviously the recent fixtures that Beeston have played in have been very difficult for them, and they're hoping that they might be a bit more competitive tonight in terms of the standard of the game. Their fixtures recently, last week against Holcombe, was very difficult, a 10-0 defeat away from home. And to try to play against those top sides is not the easiest thing to do in the league the way it is at the moment.
It certainly isn't. And, you know, this really is a league of two halves. You know, looking at the string of results that's happened so far. Though interestingly, you know, looking at the results against Hampstead, you know, so maybe a year ago you had a 6-1 loss to Hampstead and Westminster.
Yep.
But come March of this year, though it was a slightly different squad, this has narrowed massively, with Beeston just losing 2 goals to 4 against
Yes, that's
Hampstead.
right. And I think it is interesting. I mean, in terms of the positions in the league, Hampstead currently sitting in 5th on 18 points, and Beeston on 10 points, just a short distance behind them. But nevertheless, there is a big difference in the standards. When the minute you drop away from the top 4 or 5 teams, we're seeing this obvious split in the leagues in terms of standard, I think.
Absolutely, and even in that bottom half of the league, you know, sort of looking around 11 or 12 place, you know, even after that set of results that Beeston have had, you know, in the past few weeks, the difference in goal difference, even towards the bottom of the table,
right.
it's staggering.
It's very difficult to compete against those sides, and Beeston always will try their best, and today they're looking forward to being competitive against Hampstead and Westminster, who interestingly include 3 former Beeston players.
Yes.
James Sutcliffe is in there, former B, Joe Sharp, and recently this year Sam Apula as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they fix and feature within Hampstead and Westminster.
It is a very interesting feature of some of these squads. You know, over the years, the sort of migration with the central programme of former Beeston players in these sides, which now seem to dominate the top 6.
We have created quite a lot of players around the country. Just looking at the technical delegates and the umpires today, our umpires are Dan Barstow and Nick Bennett, so welcome to them. Hopefully it'll be quite a straightforward game for them, and good to see the competition factor high right from the beginning of the game. But before we start, we're going to have a minute's silence.
Yes, as the teams just walk out now, so we'll be doing a bit of a double act with both commentary and coverage over the tannoy to commemorate Remembrance Day. So we'll do that now. We'll be back with you in just a minute.
Before we start today's match, we commemorate our servicemen and women who've served this country in conflicts gone by, and those who continue to serve today. We'll mark Remembrance Day with a minute's silence, which will start and end on the umpire's whistle. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Okay, and we're now looking like getting ready to start. Just been looking through the Hampstead and Westminster results. Really interesting that out of the games that they have lost this season, Surbiton, who, again, we talked about this difference in standards, Kellen, and obviously Surbiton was a 5-2 loss for Hampstead, and Old Georgians, who seem to be causing everybody problems this season. But interestingly enough, they lost at home 1-0 to East Grinstead, so not quite sure why that occurred. They have a talented side, there's no two ways about it. They've got the likes of Rupert Shipley, very dangerous on the forward line, somebody who's going to take a lot of marking. Matt Guys-Brown with his penalty corners. But I'm just interested that we see back at Beeston, we've got, just trying to see where, just check he's on the team sheet. Just bear with me a minute, yes. Balraj Panasar, yes, he's back number 10, and he is back on the team sheet. I knew he was back in the country because he's been away in Canada, but for a minute I didn't think they'd actually include him on the team sheet.
So I think this was, unless I'm very much mistaken, this was the last 4 games used the Pan American Games, but I think
yes,
he is a very senior player, strong international presence. I think the team will be better for having him.
Yeah, I think that's right, because obviously they like the structure that he brings defensively and his stick skills. Particularly outletting, getting the ball forward, it's something that they've missed in recent fixtures, and I'm sure he'll bring that extra bit of confidence into Beeston. So hopefully we'll see the Beeston team kick off with good spirit and a good approach to the game. You'll just see how Hampstead play. I've not actually watched them this year, so not really seen the structure. We'll look at that as the game gets going. Samapula now just seems straight onto the forward line, so he's obviously settled into Hampstead's team well. And we're off. It was interesting that the last game that Beeston played at home, we were talking about the style that Stephen was trying to introduce to them with this half-court press and the counter-attack type of game.
Yes.
They feel more secure doing that, and it's interesting they've started that way straight away.
And I'm hoping now that they have the senior players back, and you've got Gareth Bowers, you're hoping that core group of senior players hold it together for that match.
I think it's been tough with the score lines that they've faced, particularly for Taylor Craigie in goal. I mean, to let in so many goals is not an easy thing to deal with mentally, and straight away we find
with a penalty corner right off the bat.
Beeston are reasonably unhappy with that, but it was an offence outside the D, aerial, encroached upon, and something occurred.
Knocking the ball away off the back of free hit, I think.
So not the best of starts to have to face a corner within the first minute or so. Let's see who the likely suspects are. See the player's breath, it's obviously getting quite cold out there at the moment.
Well, I can see my own breath inside of Chapel, so I dread to think how they're feeling outside.
Beeston defence all kitted up, ready to go. Injection. Absolutely no doubt about where that was going, straight in the top corner. Absolutely every aspect of that penalty corner routine was spot on, and that's not a very good way for Beeston to have started.
No, let's take a look at this again. So starting with the penalty corner set up.
Yeah, the two castles got to the nearest of the castles with the power straight into the corner.
And those drags into some particularly devastating.
Well, I think they'll put that down to an error right from the start, because the last thing you want to do is knock the ball away right under the umpire's nose and find that it's converted to a penalty corner. It's just a clumsy way to start.
It is, but I'm hoping this clumsy way to start doesn't have a destabilising effect on the team. As I said, I think we'll keep coming back to this. Core players who are hoping to keep the team in good mentality throughout, and hoping that this glitch at the start
set the trend for them and move it Richmond. Move on forward. Good connection in the midfield. Pretty quick in there. Pressure comes very quickly to midfield player. Doesn't pass that ball on. I think it's gone over the sideline. got that problem that we've faced when Hampstead play here, when we're on the TV. We can't read the numbers on the shirts.
I have to say the Hampstead shirts, it's like having Vaseline rubbed on your eyeballs.
That's right. So it's tricky. So we do apologise if we can't pick out all the players' names. It's not very easy to see. So Beeston just stepping up a little bit further there, but the ball easily moved around by Hampstead. Right hand side restart for Hampstead and Westminster. Back into easy space. Just play that round the back. Maybe one. Good track on the side. Standing up pass. Not making that connection. Important, really important when you make those little passes that they do connect, because in games at this level, it's very quickly back into your defensive zone, and you're going to have a lot of work involved to try and repossess it again. Hampstead at the moment stringing 4, 5, 6, 7 passes together every time they gain possession.
Lost just over the baseline, so Beeston are going to reset with a 16-yard hit.
Same sort of an outlet to the right half. Again, gone off the side, just could have been an edgy start for one or two of the players. Toby Stanley and Ali Richmond, a couple of mistakes. Taking the free hit. Yeah, that's that ball between the two forwards connecting, but missed pass, leads to possession back. I think Henry Croft very high for Beeston at the moment. We can just see out of the window he's already right near the keeper, but it'd be important for Beeston to try and feed that ball forwards as Griffiths on the ball. And there we go.
Good connection.
The space.
Croft driving into the D, takes the shot, just wide of the post.
Yeah, a little bit tight to his body and hard to get an accurate shot. Thought he was going to go a little bit further than that, create himself quite a bit of space, but
as we know from Henry Croft, when he goes, he goes.
That's right, yeah.
And part of his at least half expecting to see some absolute corkers of the ball.
Yes. Well, they need to, that's one of the things that Beeston need to do. They need to get that ball to him, particularly with a bit of, if he can find a bit of space. And as you say, his shots are very powerful.
And this is an interesting feature of having a relatively young side. Like Henry Croft up front, very fast and very strong.
Yeah, yeah. Hampstead's defensive setup pretty secure, really, and beautifully fed forward. Using the sort of the flank as an outlet. This is dangerous territory.
Putting pressure on.
Heavy whistle.
And we're going to have umpire Nick Bennett just telling Beeston's Henry Croft to calm down, and he's calling over the captain Gareth Griffiths.
Yeah, we're making an early point there. Henry's volatility sometimes spills over, but that's what makes him a good player. So Gaz Griffiths will just have to make sure that
as long as that passion's put in the right place and isn't spilling over into any sort of disciplinary issues, but hopefully Captain Gareth Griffiths, having spoken to Nick Bennett, the umpire, will keep that under wraps.
Yeah, I think Beeston are relatively happy with their disciplinary record. Not too bad.
I quite agree.
Important. I mean, again, another feature of Premier League hockey, you do not want to be down to 10, because it makes a huge difference to the attacking side. Just working this area around the edge of the D.
Pansar takes the ball just outside of the D and resetting the free hit for the Bees.
And it's looking like a card here. Dan Barstow showing a green card.
It's a green card for
somebody just sat down over there, Beeston player, can't see who that was.
But just to confirm, the goal scorer for Hampstead and Westminster off that penalty corner was number 13, Matthew Guys-Brown.
So who we mentioned right at the start as being a very dangerous short corner flicker, and so you shouldn't be giving them away. So again, the point we made a moment ago, Kellen, you don't want it to be down to 10 players, because the pressure to outlet the ball gets tougher. Opponents can step up an extra number, an extra player, and all of a sudden you find yourself under the cosh of this, and Hampstead have already been working the right-hand side. It's a good advantage. That's the slip between Henry Croft and to the Beeston forward, but that's nicely picked up. Yeah, good work rate. Hampstead obviously put the work rate in. They've retreat tackled a number of times already in a short space of time, just to win that ball back. And very, very good.
It's a very good run by Hampstead. And this is what I'm liking to see from the senior players, because with the younger players, you know, excellent play, but then they take the ball and then Panasite, you can count and go up the pitch.
Making progress.
Absolutely.
And getting an upgrade of the possession and the territory as well. Tackle from Toby Vaughan on him was pretty good as well. So there's some talented players in Hampstead, and needs to compete, make sure that there's a good example as well. Henry Croft needs to get that tackle in, make sure that this sort of build-up play doesn't happen. It's just all of that.
I know the umpire's blowing for a stick like that, but I'm just not convinced. At least from where we were looking, that stick was clearly hooked. However, we are where we are, and the Bees back in possession.
The Ashdown on the pitch. Good to see him playing again after his broken foot, which slowed him down at the start of the season, no end. He missed quite a few games because of that. He seems to be in good shape. Trick defence from Hampstead, just trying to use a little bit of interplay to get out of the tight area. And also
ball just for a foot of Beeston Sahib Dillon.
Yeah, we mentioned Sahib before. He's come all the way through every team in the club to get to first team, and I think that's credit to him.
And I think a credit to the junior section as well. You know, this is what we want to be setting up. We're up against a behemoth of a central programme. We have to develop our own talent. If we get those fundamentals right with players, case in point, Sahib, the foundations could be excellent in years to come.
Correct. Good work, good defensive work there, just clearing the ball out. Yeah, the Beeston second team has a number of developed players that have come all the way through the system as well, which is good to see. Just good transfer from Hampstead, just not trapped on the baseline, so gives possession back to Beeston.
And start with a 16-yard hit.
I'm expecting at some point to see the Jamie Rawlings aerials, because one way of, when you're pressed high and hard by an opponent, as is happening here, one of the ways of taking that pressure away is to rubbish the press, and occasionally throwing the ball out with an aerial. It's quite a good way of doing it. With a bit of skill again.
Transfer to Captain Gareth Griffiths.
Oh, and there is some space here. I hit the post.
That was an excellent connection, starting all the way from the 16-yard hit. And I think this is this finesse, when the Bees are on the ball, they get possession, and then what? And that was case in point. Brilliant connection.
Yeah. Well, again, the idea that you string 4, 5, 6 passes together after every possession is extremely valuable, because you can see there the 5 passes got to D. Yes. Where Bees need to be if they're going to get this back on level terms. They need to hit that D as many times as possible. Good. Oh, that's just fallen a bit loose there. Well, that's well watched again. Raj Palasai seems to be everywhere at the moment. He's
I wouldn't say omnipresent.
Well, you get into a situation like this, and it's a bit of a shame about that first corner, because it wasn't actually won through hockey. It was an error and a mistake in discipline by Beeston, and they find themselves 1-0 down, which you can ill afford. Again, a bit of a feature that Hampstead do well on this right-hand side. Good connections that get them always across the 23. And it's forcing Beeston to have to do some really good defensive work in that part of the pitch.
But we've seen good example of plays from the Bees, and after a mistake, which has unfortunately conceded as well, but we're only 12.5 minutes in.
Yeah.
This is not a done deal yet.
Well, I think with the quarters in games now, you can almost look at the competition factor within each quarter, and as long as the scorelines are close, you've got the opportunity to treat each little segment in its own way and fight your way back in if that's possible. Defensively, Beeston doing well at the moment, mocked up a lot of Hampstead's attacks, so apart from the corner, it's not been too bad. Again, same thing there, working hard to Get that ball. This is where they need to connect. Just space. Misunderstanding with Ali Richmond, and very well recovered. Jamie Williams there. Yeah, you can see these little basic errors that are turning the ball over. In frustration from Ben Collinson there, but you really have to watch the ball onto the stick. Always got the perfect pass. Edwards in front of us number 6. Hampstead very quickly to 2 at the back and advancing players to create more pressure up high. Yeah, Beeston doing it again there, just breaking down these attacks. They're going to have to do this all game. Not too bad a crowd for a cold Saturday evening. I think
no, not at all. You know, and I personally am a big fan of these double headers in the evening.
Yeah. Ready to watch the ladies narrowly lose to Hampstead ladies earlier in the day.
Very frustrating.
Hampstead made it very difficult for Beeston to get to the D in any kind of a formation and into the one ball. Yeah, now this is interesting. This is the air, you know, the new rule with the aerial being thrown to that sort of height. Henry Croft needed to leave the defender alone to bring that down because it was their first. Interpretations have been a bit different across some of the games, I think. But
And whatever Crofty thinks there, you know, that was clearly the defensive ball. The ball was
Yes,
going
that's
to
right,
defensive play, and it was picked up first. But we are where we are.
congratulating the umpire on the correct decision.
We're entering into dangerous territory. This.
Barraj Panasar getting involved again defensively. He seems very good at picking the little passes, little intricate passes that Hampstead are doing. He's very good at reading them, and he's
Reset from the aerial. Hampstead just within 5 metres, having picked up the aerial. Set to Barraj Panasar.
not convinced about that ball back in there because
No.
use a lot of skill to get out. I know he has got that skill, as you can see, but it's a tight part of the pitch to get away from. And there you go. It's quite easy to break down your outletting. I think it's very important for teams to have different forms of outlet, getting the ball from the defensive area forwards, and they can't always do it the same way. Whether it's the interplay or the use of the aerial, that's good.
Richmond gets bearing down on.
Yeah, Hampstead's players are very good at stepping in and picking up the ball when it's slightly ahead of the Beeston players, and back on that right side attack again. Penalty corner. Yeah, this is the risk, and if you don't clear your lines in a satisfactory way enough times against these better Premier League sides, they're very good. The transfer there's probably taken about no more than 10 seconds to find themselves in a short corner winning position, and it's exactly what they've done. And that's what Beeston need to protect against.
Foot from Barraj Panasar.
Yeah,
Just inside the D.
cloud of condensation over the huddle. Well, there's a lot being asked of the Beeston #1 runner here, because I'd be surprised if they changed their approach to this. The penalty flick, sort of short corner flick last time was excellent. Just trying to see who is running #1. I think it is Henry Croft, who seems to like doing that.
And we're time off.
It does take a bit of time to put the kit on, but you would not want to do this sort of defensive work without it.
No.
Particularly if you are the #1 runner.
Henry Croft just having a conversation with umpire Nick Bennett, but it looks like we're ready and all set up.
Interesting to see if there's any way that Henry can get anywhere near Strengton St Castle. They're very unlucky. I think he got to that, and I think, in actual fact, I think that's deflected off his stick.
Let's have a look at this one.
Yeah, Henry very quick. He'll be disappointed that that's gone in behind him, because there he is, and there was just a little connection. Henry disappointed, I think, that having got to the ball, it wasn't trapped on the line. Steady progress from Hampstead to get to 2-0. Interesting, really, because other than the goals, it's been really even. A lot of good defensive work from Beeston, good build-up play from Hampstead, but corners is a massive threat.
It absolutely is.
And that sort of connection there we find ourselves at the quarter break, but the sorts of connections in the midfield, Hampstead are very quickly onto those. So we find ourselves quarter time, Hampstead 2 from 2 very well taken corners. Disappointment a little bit from Henry Croft to deflect the ball into his own net. Take a little break now, just a bit of time for Stephen Wood, Beeston coach, to try and settle this down a bit. And I would expect him to be saying that apart from giving the corners away, there has been a good competitive edge to the game. Well, just a quick recap on that first quarter. The difference being the penalty corners, the winning of the 2 penalty corners, both of which resulted in goals. Matt Guys-Brown from the first one, super flick into the corner. The second one deflected off the #1 runner, and nobody on the line able to trap it. So disappointing from that point of view. Competitive in terms of the interplay, and quite good defensive work, I think, from Beeston.
I think very promising defence, notwithstanding the 2 goals. You can see there's been some very promising displays of Beeston defence.
There is an order about Hampstead's game. You can see their structure is good, their passing is good. Very few missed traps, even in the tight areas of the pitch, and that sets them apart. And the slight difference, and we're seeing it here, a missed pass and a missed trap from Beeston, and it puts Hampstead in good territory, and it's that kind of difference in basics that affects the game a lot.
I think you're quite right. Those string of passes that are executed well, the turnover rate from Hampstead, as it stands at the moment, is quite low. But we have seen promising displays from the Bees when it happened. Look back to that first quarter when we had the 16 all the way to the string of passes. It can be done by the Bees. Promising displays. You just need to see them executed.
See, this is where I feel they put themselves in trouble, because the ball into the midfield played straight back, and it ended up even deeper in the Beeston defensive area than where they'd started from.
Now, do you think this is something that the coach Stephen Wood might have brought in the quarter time?
Well, I would hope so, because I would like to see them clear their lines better. Really, they already know that Hampstead are good at hunting, and it doesn't take them long to repossess the ball. And so Beeston have got to get out of the half more regularly. At least give their forwards something to do, and give Hampstead the need to run back into defensive areas and work them harder. Again, the Hampstead forward right on the low and on the back post, ready to receive any kind of cross. And again, back to the Hampstead players. These turnovers are expensive.
It does make it a tense watch.
It does. I've done that quite a lot this season.
And if we can say anything about this club, from previous famous matches, miracles do happen.
Yes. Well, the funny thing about that is one of the players that made that happen last season, particularly Sam Apula, who's now playing for Hampstead.
Yes.
I think he won a couple of Premier League games for Beeston at the last minute.
Griffiths under pressure. Releases it to Will Prentice, who's reset, and we're going to reset presumably with a long corner.
Yep. See a bit of a benefit to a quick restart there. Just put the ball through the D and into a long corner restart.
Toby Stanley take this long corner. Right side.
Again, my point at the moment is that from a restart, the first pass should always connect. There's absolutely no excuse for that not being collected on the sideline. Pass might have been poor, I know, but between the two of them, that's something that they should make sure happens.
Pressure.
Nice to see them. Just for a moment, I thought that ball was going a little bit free, but Hampstead again. Nice to
Well picked by Toby Stanley.
difficult to create from there, but
Picked by Hampstead on the baseline.
Yes, obviously Nick Bennett saw a foot or something in there that gave the ball back to Hampstead. Beeston pressing much higher up the pitch than we saw in the first quarter, and that's allowed. That's very well watched. And again, because the turnover happened, quicker the speed of the restart, Hampstead expanding and contracting the whole team unit very quickly. So the minute they've repossessed the ball, you can see the fields get very high quickly.
I think Owen Sutton will be an interesting player to watch here. A good promising start to him.
Yes.
Just hasn't the execution wasn't there yet, but he will be an interesting one to watch. Some good elements of play, and obviously this being his first Premier League season.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that about the Beeston side. We're trying to build something steadily. Get this right side again. The ball trapped in the D by the Hampstead forward. This time, satisfactorily defended.
And I think the battle is as much off the pitch as it is on the pitch. There is no, we've talked about this extensively, Steve. There is no reward for clubs like Beeston, Westminster, Reading.
No.
For investing in the facilities.
No, that's right.
There is no incentive in punches, but this is a good
There we go.
display.
What's going to happen here? Nicely good shape from the goalkeeper. Toby Reynolds got him there in exactly the right position, making life difficult for Roger Gleeson.
By Ali Richmond.
Crikey, that's, yeah.
With Joe Sharp, Hampstead, Westminster. Aerial picked by Barrage.
So that was a really good example of the aerial, because Barrage completely in line. Perhaps the player approaches in his space where he's trying to control it, so it's easy whistle for the umpire. And that's how the and now that's just got away with it. So a couple more of these sorts of. That's run.
Can Croft pick this straight through?
Yeah, good effort on the heading back out of the D. Just trying to use his upper body strength to get that on target. Simply missed the post. A couple of little attacks, a bit more. I like to see this higher press. I think that you bring a lot of pressure on yourself if you're constantly in the half court. By half court, everybody in your own half, typically trying to do the defensive work. So important. It's one of the things, one of the skills in coaching is to get the units to work together at the right time. Forwards particularly setting the scene, closing gaps between themselves. So just feeding that ball, more of a transfer across the pitch, and because there's a bit of pressure on each of the players each time, there's a mispass, and you can create that error in your opponents if you're sharp and you step out and you look to tackle and hurry them.
Where's Sutton for this aerial up?
Aerial.
Picked by Hampstead.
Very nicely done. Again, good skills. Yeah. Dan Boster leaving that because it would run far too far away from Hampstead player, and that's a nice connection. Is there anybody in the middle? Oh, what a trap that was. Side. And again, that's looking to get that because the best of passes.
Richmond wasting no time there.
Yeah. Well, we know what the games can be like. If you can get a goal back at 2-0 down, then it can become a different type of a fixture. But I'd just like to see a few more of these connections happening from Beeston. They're trying to make the passes in the right areas, but it's often being mispassed or mistrapped.
And I think as we're coming towards the final stages of this second quarter, we're seeing both their discipline in terms of with the umpires, but also how they're stringing the passes together.
Yes,
much better with the closing phase.
That's very good goalkeeping. Again, I think that's a strength of his particularly. Positional stuff from Toby Reynolds-Cottrell, just making sure he's firmly in the right place. Oh! That's
and penalty corner.
I think that has hit a foot. Well, very gradually, Kellen, they've just built this Beeston doing exactly the right thing now. They've not stuck with the half-court press. They've pressed higher up the pitch with 2 or 3 right-side attacks that haven't quite come off, and they've attempted to feed the ball into the D quickly like that.
And I have to say, I think we're starting to see just some mild complacency creeping from the Hampstead side.
Yeah, possibly. I think I think that can happen, can't it? If you get into an early lead, there's an intent from Beeston, I think, which is good to see. So we've got Jamie Rawlings. Yes, he is there. So that might well be where the ball goes to the nearest castle for a Jamie Rawlings flick. And it is, yes. Well, that's very promising and a very gradual and clever way of building your way back into a game when you find yourself 2-0 down. So that's really good to see. Beautifully taken, a lot of power.
Let's have a look at this again.
You've got somebody who can flick it as hard as Jamie Rawlings, then why not use it? Here we go, look. Yeah, perfect. The keeper's left side and away from the post defender. Well, that should feed a bit of confidence into Beeston. I like their intent to get that ball forwards, and I think that is, in the context of this game, is a better way for them to play. Piece of the aerial nicely taken by Hampstead. Very dangerous part of the pitch again. Yeah, that's the baseline for a restart. This is probably one of the things they've got to do most, is to break down all of these attacks. But after each one of them, there needs to be something at the other end, and so that's why I think that the outletting needs to be considered in terms of getting that ball forward.
I think the Bees will be encouraged so far. They've had a string of tough results to deal with, but as it stands at the minute, fairly evenly placed.
Yeah. I've chatted to a few of them in the recent weeks, and there's a great understanding of where they sit in the league and various levels. And as we say, we've seen these 3-4 top sides who are quite special, really. Still there, and it's gone off the baseline again. But you look at Old Georgian, Surbiton, Wimbledon, Holcombe. They're good sides. They're brimming with internationals.
Win in proximity to Bishop.
Yeah. I do think it's a bit of a shame, actually, if I'm honest, that you've got clubs like Reading with their facilities, and you've got clubs like East Grinstead with their facilities and Indoor Hall finding life very difficult, even though they're in that part of the country.
I think this M25 ring is not a good place for running sports. The fact that we're having to divide the league into 2 halves where you have the top 6 competing, and that effectively is the M25 ring. And I think until there's something that can be done about that, it doesn't paint the sport in a particularly strong light. You've got clubs who are putting a lot of money into facilities to make the game stronger, and they're trying to market the matches, and the clubs have got to do more. But I do not think this is a healthy sign.
I agree with you. Hampstead back into their familiar pattern, transferring that ball around the back, trying to just you see, that should be trapped. Look at the danger that's created for them, the Beeston D. Good work by Hampstead down the flank, but there was an opportunity there for Beeston to defend that. Here we go with Ali Richmond. Very pacey player, I like Richmond in place. The problem I have with Ali Richmond is every time I mention how good he's going, he tends to get tackled, so I need to commentate his curse.
And that's the end of BTV. We're going to turn off our microphones. Thank you all very much for watching.
So good transfer there, out onto the left-hand side, and this is where there needs to be more effort to get in front of that. I can't see who that was, but
Ollie Ashton.
yeah, just need to get. You see again, I mean, how many times have we seen Hampstead in this part of the pitch? They obviously look quite a lot of territory and where to be and where the strong parts of the pitch are, and that seems to work well for them. It's been far less down the left-hand side. Rupert Shipley, dangerous player. Finding
Shipley back along
yeah,
the
very,
baseline.
very well done from Beeston, because there was an intent there by the Hampstead forward, Rupert Shipley, and the other forward to create a penalty corner just by finding a foot. So dancing feet in the D as a defender to keep your feet out of the way. Again, play Richmond again. Particularly as it's tackled.
As we've seen with that first goal, the penalty corner is devastating. Dancing feet just
Yeah.
any opportunity for devastating drag play to come in.
Well, we've seen 3 goals from corners tonight, and it's quite clear that that is the threat from both teams at the moment. There's not been so much open play creation. Here's another Beeston attempt.
Just misses out.
Yeah, good skills, very good skills from number 15.
Yes.
William Morgan. Oh, and there we go. Ah, this interesting little turn of events, because there's been 2 missed passes and missed traps from Hampstead now, which we didn't see in the first quarter. So maybe the Beeston added pressure has just upset the rhythm a little bit, and that's what you have to do sometimes if you want to fight your way back into games, is upset your opponent's routines and rhythms. A lot of hard work needed to do that. Raj Panasar trying to run that out of defence, and I know he's skillful, but I'm not convinced that's the right way of doing it. And corner. Again, I mean, it really is a familiar pattern from Hampstead, this right-hand side attack, almost to the complete exclusion of the left-hand side, but if it works, then great. But here we go again. Well watched. Should be just bobbing that ball into the D to see if we can create havoc. Oh dear. Again,
Just losing possession inside the 23.
yeah, and this is the
Taking full advantage of this towards the
yeah,
D.
that's neat and tidy. Well done, Beeston. That's good, good defence there.
And this was a good advantage from the umpire as well. Beeston full advantage of
Yeah, sign of a good umpire, really, just understanding the game as well as knowing the rules, and just being able to sort of interpret and anticipate the players. Very good. Now that's unfortunate. And the move aerial was excellent. Will Prentice found just a bit too far ahead of him. Yeah, it is interesting about umpires. I know you've done lots of that many times. You know, you have to have a rapport and understanding of the players, because the game's quick.
You do, but I think what both teams will be appreciating, you know, don't attempt fate, but the umpires so far have been enabling good skill. Where the quick reset's been needed, it's happened, and where the advantage has been allowed to play, it's allowed good skill. So I think, you know, you'll have noticed that both teams have had very little to say so far.
Yes.
I think this is a sign of good tempo.
I agree.
Again.
Well, Dan Barstow's umpired some games now, hasn't he? He's
At the highest level.
absolutely, yeah. Toby Stanley demonstrating his stick work.
Just into the final minute of this first half.
Tricky that one, too close to the sidelines. The use of the aerial is interesting. I think it's sort of more familiar type of pass now than it's been in recent years. And there's another one. Players are very good at it, using it as just part of the passing game. But the difference is now it's not just thrown miles away, they throw it between the players, and you see the basic skills of collecting the ball. And just patience, work hard line well have won that.
Working very
He
hard,
has.
applying
And if he
pressure.
doesn't get a bit of help now, lads, come on. And very unfortunate. I mean, that was a bit of a Lone Ranger work from Henry Croft. Shame he didn't find a foot. Straight away, Hampstead straight back down the right-hand side. And then we have the half-time whistle. Well, I think that's been a great quarter. Enjoyable to watch, and nice to see Beeston get that goal back from a Jamie Rawlings penalty corner. Just keeping the scoreline tight as we hit half-time.
I quite agree. We're going to take a break just for a few minutes. We'll be with you in just a moment, and we're just going to show you an advert from the Movember Foundation, who the Bees have been running a fantastic fundraiser with just during this fixture so far. We'll be back soon.
Hi, is this the 247? Mo.
The Mo is calling. Raise funds, save lives. Sign up at Movember.com.
Well, welcome back to BTV and the Nottingham Hockey Centre on a chilly evening. Apparently it's 4 degrees. Pitch is looking in great condition though, so there's no issues there. The second quarter of that game, Kellen, so far has become quite competitive.
It certainly has. It certainly has. You know, this. You say it's a. Well, we've been talking. Much has been made of the game being a game of 2 halves, but that half was a half of 2 halves.
Yeah, it was. Yes, that's right. And obviously, all the goals coming from penalty corners. And both teams look more likely to work for penalty corners than the open play goals so far. Just Shipley had an opportunity a short while ago in the Beeston D, which potentially created an open play shot, but the rest of it has been a gradual build-up. I've liked Beeston's method of fighting back in. They went from being very deep in their own defensive.
I quite agree, and particularly in the closing moments of that half, we have seen the Bees upset Hampstead. Now, what I want to see is the Bees sustain this during this half. I hope that they don't get upset.
Yes, yeah. And there's an intent already. This will be played seconds, but already you can see Gareth Griffiths going forward very quickly there. Players much further up the pitch. Getting a restart in a tight area, but this puts Beeston on the right-hand side. Not the very best of hits across there. And that's one of the things I think we need to see more from Beeston, or better from Beeston. It's the basics, the hitting, the trapping, the passing. That's fallen to Henry Croft, a very dangerous. Going to reset with a long corner. Save again. Again, the feature we mentioned in the first half, Toby Reynolds-Cottrell's position, goalkeeping position, is pretty spot on most of the time.
Now that is an unfortunate back stick.
Yeah.
They're just going to be resetting with a Westminster free hit just outside, well, just behind the 23-metre line.
Adds a lot to defensive setup if you've got confidence in the way that your keeper performs. Not only in the saves and everything else, but the communication and the leadership from the back. Such a good position to see where players should be.
And it's good to see our new keeper, Taylor Craigie,
yes,
played for New Zealand, settling in. Yeah. Under 21s, played in the 2019 Sultan of Johor Cup.
Yes, he did, yeah.
And it is good to see him settle in.
So, Hampstead again working on the right-hand side. Going off an aerial. It was trapped by Rupert Shipley. Quite connecting with Croft. Going off the sideline for a restart. I think this is one of the areas that Beeston have got to tidy up a bit, really, stop these attacks from the right-hand side. Quite clear from Hampstead's point of view that they're looking for penalty corners from that. Go for a change. And the left-hand side nicely stepped in. It's Toby Stanley. Just making sure that he gets in front of the forward. Lots of play needed to get this away. Again, I think my point makes sense there. The turnover in that part of the pitch is very dangerous. I quite agree. And it's something that the Beeston should stop happening again. We keep seeing that, and it needs a fight back to get it again. When in actual fact, a simple passing would be on there.
Or I think Gareth Griffiths, the captain, could have just driven it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
taking it on himself.
So that's an area of the game that I think will make a big difference to Beeston if they can just eliminate those errors. There is another one. The pass has got nothing like enough power on it, so it's not going to connect with the advancing halfback. Whereas that pass had, and it did. It's
making the Bees work very hard. Yeah, Hamasaj putting the pressure on.
Nicely, beautifully fed in. There's a lot of space here, and deflected well by Craig. He was out quickly to that and had to be. Lovely bit of skill from Rupert Shipley, driving hard into that part of the D, selfishly making a pass to the free player. Taylor Craigie spotted that early enough. Yeah, so the number of times that Beeston are getting over the 23-metre line to escape with the ball, but then turning it over before they get to the halfway line is a bit of an issue, really. Nice bit of space for the transfer from Hampstead, so missing out on their men in defence to get to the right-hand side. So again, Again, he's, you know, sometimes there's a time for your tricks, and there's a time to just get rid. And he was caught that time. He's just made it. I mean, he's just made it, but
I think we're into a new phase of play. Hampstead, they're making these work very hard at the moment. Just a string of well-connected passes making these to run very hard.
you can bet their half-time team talk is want to get your act together really, because they had drifted off a bit.
Yeah.
So I think now this is the late whistle there from Nick Dennis. It was quite clearly it's a foot.
Oh, his whistle's frozen.
I was supposed to mention Fraser.
I apologise for the strictest of instructions.
Again, a little bit deep from Beeston now. And no, not spotted. That
Advantageous for
Yeah,
these.
they
I'd say
think-
that was a decent foot.
Yeah, well, Hampstead played again for that for the penalty corner. Beeston got away with that.
Well, I'm just looking over to our director. Apparently, what do we know? Apparently, he's on the hand instead.
Nice to see Sahid Dillon back on the pitch, number 16 for Beeston. Going into a lot of space and very easy to Hampstead. Again, Henry doing his Lone Ranger patrolling work. Hampstead again has been a good feature of their game, I have to say. The little connections that they make are swift and accurate. Not quite as quick as you see from Surbiton and Georgians, which is reflected in the league positions, but close.
I quite agree.
Their work rate is good, and they work to space, particularly in the forward line, well, so they're able to make connections forwards leads, and gives them a good foothold high up in the...
But I think even in this next phase of play, defensively, they're holding it together. You know, those devastating penalty corners, we've kept them at bay for the time being.
Yeah, they've got. It's an absolute must if Beeston want to fight back into this and get something else. But they can't give away corners. And it's not like a few; they can't give away any. It's got to be as clinical as that. Absolutely. Demonstration of skills and then quick progress to a dangerous part of the D. Looking here. There we go. But again, quality defending, getting low, making sure it doesn't hit your feet.
And we're seeing in defence it is well composed, even just that extra second on the ball to find the player.
Yeah, it's an obvious tactic for Hampstead. You can see the appeal for the corner, and whether it looks like it hits a foot or not, it's the Beeston the shot. Oh, now that's cleared Taylor Craigie completely, and the forward behind Taylor Craig has got a touch on the ball. That's a wonderful finish. Great vision, but an error not to have taken that. That error was thrown from well in their own half. Look at the size of that. That's excellent. Was that Samapula?
Just come to our director.
That's fallen loose in.
For you just a moment.
Good long-corner restart for Beeston. Excellent reaction. I mean, what a thing to do to get behind the keeper just in case of a mistake, and then sure enough,
It was, and I think that was really unfortunate. Taylor Craig placed, but just unaware of the man behind him.
Yeah, I think you have to take the view there that there always will be somebody potentially looking to do that, but how clever to think that there's a potential to score goal from that. Sure
And I
enough.
say this actually brings me back to what I call umpire school. You know, when we're being coached how to manage errors, to look where the ball is going to land rather than following the ball through. I think that is what the Bees fell victim to there. Yeah. The ball was being watched as it came down, unaware that the man was running behind
That's
us.
right, yeah. Shame in a way, because the build-up play from Beeston has been very good and still is. So it's not a done deal for Hampstead yet. But it's quite clear they upped their performance since half time, so their coach has probably had a word and said, I need a bit more activity from you. But good response here.
And just confirmation of that goal scorer running behind goalkeeper Taylor Craig. It was Hampstead's number 13, Matthew Guys Brown.
Was it? Well, excellent thinking. And then, of course, you've got to connect with the ball. So always round a great goal. Again, Beeston in the right place, right part of the pitch, just putting the pressure on.
I'm impressed with three-bitted team.
Yes,
long-standing Beeston supporter.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it? You know, we watch a lot of these games, and it's all about if you see quality and talent, then it needs mentioning, doesn't it, who they're from, really, what teams they're from. It's great to watch. Sport generally is great to watch. It's quick. Apparently, the ball spends more time in play than it does in football, despite the 20-minute difference in time. And that's mostly because football hasn't adapted in any way. There's still offside, there's still hours for free kicks.
Absolutely, and I think there is real potential in hockey as a domestic product.
Yeah.
You know, there is some heavy lifting that the clubs have got to do in terms of their facilities.
Yes,
getting it right for spectators. You know, some clubs, I'm afraid, are going to have to work harder than others. But across the board, if they can get this right, get the fans in, what a fantastic sport to be able to watch.
It is, yeah. Well, we know here, every time we brought new faces down or companies down, or when they see it, they're quickly taken by it. So a bit of work to do for Beeston again, having done so well to get to 2-1. And again, that was Samapur on the ball, isn't it? Just
but missed, so we'll reset with the Beeston 16.
yeah, the trouble with being deep all of the time is it does bring that build-up play. The transfer work by your opponents happens much nearer to your D, and then they're looking for their connections. Of course, the players can trap it in the D quite well. So, Beeston again, just in a battle on the right side of the pitch. So again, look at the hunting going on from the Hampstead forwards. And this is the time when I think enough becomes enough, and you have to do that and get that forward.
Well, that is well connected, but where was Ben Collinson?
Absolutely, it's just so easy to. I mean, he's cross with himself, but that's something that should come naturally to him. He should be able to take that ball down without it being.
And I think this is where his frustrations come in, because he's a very good player.
He is.
He'll know that he's better than that connection there.
See, look at Rupert Shipley there. No issues at all, and that's often the thing that sets players apart, that difference in ability on the basic part of the game. Trap and pass. So, that's an unusual way to restart, but at least go away with it. Nice transfer of the ball.
Breathe a very long sigh of relief there.
Yes,
in fact, I can see the condensation all the way from here. Reset, Captain Gareth Griffiths putting the pressure on.
I mean, you never want to be so prescribed that everything is going to be perfect.
Of course
the game,
not.
That's not going to happen in the game, but there are just certain situations where you know, you have to hold your hand up and say, that's a mistake and I've not been good enough. And that's with the corner. That's almost
that
like
from
a
Dylan Lim Hong. That is
straight line run for a shoulder charge. I think there's
I
not
think
much
so.
doubt about that.
And I think we'd like to have a look at that again, but I think this is as cut and dry as it could come, really.
Well, again, this is that thought process that goes off. I mean, the run, look.
I think it's completely unnecessary. The umpire is right there. You know, he's better at that. He could have taken that ball completely cleanly. Unnecessary, right in view of the umpire. I think they've got to be a hell of a lot smarter.
And if that turns itself into a goal, then you know, that has to go down as the biggest error so far in the game. some sympathy with Taylor Craigie's miss of the aerial that led to the goal, but that really is just
We are
silly.
time off. I know that Beeston is sponsored this year by Wait Less Time, but we are currently waiting more time for the penalty corner setup, so hopefully quite quickly we'll be all good to go.
Yeah, safety kits on. Set, usual suspects here. That's
good
a
by
good
Taylor,
save, yeah.
by Taylor Craigie.
Good reactive foot save just to take the ball away from any sticks that were close to getting a shot off.
Hannes are well composed for now. Good pass.
And as that was that
And released.
Yeah.
Released well, I'd say.
Yeah, seems to take quite a while for the Beeston forward to get there.
What do you think it will take us in this stage of the game? You know, we're coming to the end of this third quarter.
Yes,
what do you think they need to do to regain that composure, which they had towards the end of the second half?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, there's no doubt you're not going to win this game by being defensive and deep in your own half. They've got to get forward. They've got to find ways of getting the ball to the opposition's deep. And I frankly don't think that matters. If it's an aerial, great. If it's a quick hit and pass down the flanks, great. But you have to work at it. But you see these little passes, and that, I don't know how that ball's found. Owen Sutton, because it was in the wilderness for ages. But
Griffiths driving towards the D.
Get the D, get in there,
Can he get a
something,
foot?
and he
Yes,
has
he can.
done that. And this is the way you have to get from D to D quickly in a situation like this if you're going to fight your way back in.
And I think that's an bias, but I think it's an excellent piece of play. The ball's released in midfield to Griffiths. He's driven all the way down towards the D,
Deceptively pacey.
towards the baseline, tried to find the foot. He's found a decent player, and it has hit the foot, and we're away.
So, in answer to your question, they demonstrated it for us. That's how you get back into a game like this. You get from D to D quickly, and you make sure that you get an outcome when you're there, and exactly as Gaz Griffiths did.
And how quickly it can all turn around.
Yeah. Well, you can see a situation now, if this became 3-2, then it's game back on again, isn't it, really? So, Jamie Rawlins, 3 there, setting up on the nearest castle to the ejector. As Griffiths on the trap. I'd be surprised if they did anything different, really. There's no need to. And there it is. So that's a perfect example of how you deal with an adverse situation of going 3-1 down in a game like this, particularly when the goal was on the 3-1 or not taking anything away from that guy's ground, but you know what I mean.
I quite agree, and I think this just is case in point the importance of senior players. You've had good work between Balraj Panesar when he was under pressure from the baseline, released it into midfield. There's a good string of play to Gareth Griffiths, the captain, and it has resulted in a goal. Fantastic.
Yeah. So, the energy should now be firmly with Beeston. Coming back to 3-2 is a good little fight back, but they've got to turn that into a point-winning situation. And a good pick up there. Now this is where we need Henry Croft to do his magic. Again, Hampstead can't take anything away from their defensive capabilities and their work rate. I'm impressed with some of their interplay. It's good, and we find ourselves at the bang on the 3-quarter break with a very interesting final quarter ahead.
End of the third quarter. The Bees narrowing the gap. Beeston 2, Hampstead and Westminster 3.
So, end of the third quarter, Steve. What do you think?
Well, I've been impressed with the Hampstead performance, the quality of their passing and interplay. That's been very good indeed. But I've been equally impressed with Beeston's refusal to accept the defeat position and getting back to the corners. Through the corners has been very good. It's good to see a different type of goal. I know it went to Hampstead, but that high aerial over the keeper was quite something else, really. And that guy's Brown needs a pat on the back. working that one out. So that was interesting. to
I
see.
completely agree, and I think, on paper, you might look at last year's squad versus this year's squad, and you might assume that last year's might have had the edge. I disagree. And I think, being the fly on the wall, I think this Beeston team has had the best rapport with each other, definitely, for many, many years. And I think where you see moments of weakness, you see them quickly come back together. We saw this immediately with Gareth Griffiths' drive straight up, which resulted in the goal. And I think this is why it's just as important, the off-the-field preparation as it is on the field as well.
And of course, it doesn't matter about the results that have gone. It's all about what you do next and how you take this forward. And there's a lot of hockey to play. I mean, Beeston have taken a few thumpings, but there's a lot of hockey to play in the way that the league splits at Christmas and the competition that evolves after Christmas. And there are some pretty good signs in some of the games from Beeston's point of view.
I totally agree, Ross, and I think this says a lot about the mental toughness of this team. I think if the previous Beeston squad's gone by, that stupid results might have crumbled under that. But this team, they've bounced back, and I think it's really impressive to see, and I think we're seeing the results of that on the field in spells of play at the moment.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a good core of players in the squad, and they are, as you say, they're a tight-knit group, really. They train well, and there's an intent in all of them to improve. And Dan Barstow is just
with time off. To see
just a little bit of a natter.
A rollicking.
Stephen Wood very animated on the side of the pitch there, so
characteristic.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Now I think going back to the point of the question you raised earlier, how do we get back to 3-2, which we did? What happens next for Beeston? Well, we have to eliminate the errors now. The errors that have cost them the goals, we can't afford any of those now. It's a good restart. Again, Hampstead quick to get a defensive tackle and just slow the play, allows them the time to reset. Beeston have another go again, but look how tightly they're marshalled. Good restart again. Is that going to get somewhere? Oh, this is unfortunate. And that has
driving back towards
unlucky. Yeah, a good little attempt there to either find a foot or feed that through to afford all the Beeston players on the edge of the D. Nobody really got high. I always like to see a forward getting somewhere near the keeper on the post when that kind of a situation arises. And unfortunately just ran off the back line. Here we go with another. Yeah, interesting. Yeah,
and it's gone the way of Hampstead.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I think we've got two opinions there. Yeah. But the difficulty in the interpretation of the aerial. I mean, again, Rupert Shipley was in space and was stationary.
And it does happen, the umpires, they have radios, but sometimes, you don't want it to happen, but one umpire points one way and the other points the other.
That's right. It's a dangerous place again for Hampstead to get to. Balraj Panesar just giving the ball away in a very dangerous part of the pitch, and he needs to stop doing that. It's all right having all the skills in the world, but you're not going to run.
I agree, but I think we do see the odd element of clumsiness from Hampstead as well.
Yeah, true.
I couldn't quite catch the number, the Vaseline on eyeballs effect with the shirts again, but completely unnecessary hand on the shoulder, which resulted in a free hit being given to the Bees.
Good step in from Owen Sutton there, just making sure he's picked that ball up well. Will Prentice. There's Griffiths. There's that space with. He's managed to come away with that. Just keep making these connections as you move forward. That has
into the D. Can Croft release it? He can't. We're going to see
a green card.
But who's it for, boss?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Dan seems to be pointing.
Number
Croft, but
so that's number 8. So we've got a green for Hampstead's
Tom Crowson, So, well, little power play phase. Down to 10. Can they win possession quickly and make use of that 2 minute? Oh, unlucky. Nearly did it there.
Now, can the Bees capitalise, being 11 to 10 men?
Well, that's why
To play.
I wouldn't mind betting Hampstead will have worked on this, and they will, the key is to keep the ball when you're in that kind of a situation. You've lost the player. Yeah, a bit of a disagreement there between the two Hampstead players, I think. My point about the little errors that creep in that become costly, an opportunity there to use the 10-man Hampstead.
Absolutely. Well, the Bees are going to have to set up quickly. We've seen errors unfold, and we've seen them recover very quickly and work it up into an advantage. But you're quite right. It is unfortunate, and it is these little errors which are just unnecessary, and they're better players than that.
Yes, yeah. You see that sort of work from Hampstead playing the ball into a tight area but retaining the possession to the point where you get a restart. And again, big aerial. Thankfully this time the Beeston has stayed in the right relationship to the Hampstead forward and didn't give anything away. Now that's much better from Barrage Power side, passing out so that you get the ball forwards. And Croft. I do think that was a goes again. That's connected, but not quite.
Free hit. So that'll be just outside the D, so Henry Croft's in prime place to take that.
That's
and
gone well. Nobody quite on the end of that. Again, my point, you get that situation where you know that ball's going to be fired into the D, you get onto that
quite agree.
goal line. So a bit of pressure. Beeston know that they can create another opportunity. Just got to be careful not to give anything
back
away.
to 11 men. Throw some ice cube.
Beeston and a bit of space here.
Oh my word!
Perfect.
That was so nearly
perfect opportunity. He'll be disappointed with that. That was the first real free chance he's had to hit the ball.
Let's just have another look at this again while we can.
Yeah, missed aerial. Very quickly fed forward. Again, my point. Beautiful little pass inside.
And that's
target.
so nearly perfect. We're just going to return to the main camera.
Yeah, lots of whistle ball with Beeston on the right-hand side. They've got to keep this confidence going and keep working the same thing. Get the ball forward quickly. I think Toby Stanley has been hit accidentally.
No, I didn't see the whistle go. I don't know if the time on or time off was.
I haven't seen that.
Haven't the foggiest.
So ball with Beeston. Again, if there's a lesson they must have learnt, get that ball forwards. Causes Hampstead problems. It's led to 2 opportunities to score in the last 5 minutes. Richmond, where's he going with this? Time must have been stopped. There you go. That's gone straight off. I thought that would take an deflection, but it hasn't. Gone straight off for a Hampstead restart. Could have been a bit better with that. Valuable time, it's certainly need possession. Still plenty of time on the clock. 11 minutes out.
And on the whole so far, I think it's fair to say Hampstead have been the stronger side, but this, to me, this is not a done deal for either side.
No. I think Hampstead are more organised. Beeston's enthusiasm and energy has been good to see, and their fight back.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's okay. Just get out of these tight areas. Yeah, again, Hampstead do very well in those situations.
It's a difficult situation to come out if you're covered by. I'm going to reset for one.
Yeah, again, Owen Sutton making the last tackle there and making sure his feet were out of the way. So it's a long corner restart rather than the dreaded penalty corner in the context of this game. Great feed, that will be put across, and again, well trapped. Clearing your lines, good enough, get it off, out of your D, get it to somewhere, make them restart. allow yourself time to shape. Got to step out on these men. It's got off the side. Back for a restart. So, I mean, Beeston will be keen to get the ball forward under control and in possession. The aerial sometimes is tricky to do that unless it's into obvious space. Henry Croft lurking on the Hampstead 23-metre line.
And what, if we look at Stephen Wood's assessment, we're coming into the last 10 minutes, what would you be focusing on? Just the elimination of unnecessary errors?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think, and he knows full well he's got to create a penalty corner or an open goal scoring chance, as we've just seen. But he'll be focusing on making sure that possession's retained. No. Good work rate reaction by Beeston to get back into shape, but Hampstead are always dangerous. I mean, you can see their intent to feed this ball. Again, there you go. Good kick.
Released it well.
Yeah, good strong foot there. Where's that gone? That's actually needs to be. Yeah, very well done. Hampstead again, right on the edge of the pitch.
Four players eliminated.
Yes.
But
almost and it's still with Hampstead. This is dangerous. On corner.
Well, again, we've seen it. You know, the mid. We've seen lots of players eliminated in midfield, but when it's come down to the defence, on the whole, been rock solid.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it can be difficult sometimes to stop running player getting through, making those little passes, but the earlier you do it, the better. A lot of space for Hampstead on this right-hand side. That's fallen into a dangerous.
Extremely well. These retain their composure. They can.
They've done it again. Jamie Rawlings just keep the ball tight, and Ali Richmond in there as well. It's been a good feature from Beeston that they've stopped a lot of inside the D play.
Absolutely, I've been very impressed with this defence. It's been very dependable throughout the match, irrespective of the phase of play. I think.
Good sign. Good sign. Again, not fault Hampstead the way that they get the ball out of these dangerous areas, but that should really be a Beeston ball. Yeah, some collision.
Time off.
And the Hampstead players down on the floor. I'm just wondering if that might have been a ball that shot up off the floor. Looks like it's hit him. Samapu, I think. You often see that when you get two players tackling hard together, the ball squirts up off the stick and can hit you in the face, and it's painful.
But good to see still on the field of play.
Yeah.
Just substituted.
They have made that connection through with Gleeson. Fight his way through. He's done that, and I expect him to get.
And I think Toby Stanley's rightly aggrieved by that. The breakdowns come from Hampstead. In my view, that was cut and dry. That should have been his free hit, but,
definitely.
You know, we are where we are. The Bees have got to reset, and they've got to retain this composure in defence, which they've seen throughout the match so far.
Yeah, there has been a discipline about Beeston's defensive work, which is good to see, and there's been an equal discipline from Hampstead in their passing and build-up play. And I think that's the differences between the two styles of play. Hampstead look well drilled. Beeston look flary at times.
Absolutely.
And there is a big difference between those two.
And you do just get the sense in this, you know, the score line's close from the final stage of play. You can hear it in the crowd. You can hear it on the pitch. The temperature just rising.
Yes,
just that little bit.
Actually falls. Again, this is Beeston's little problem at the moment, the risk of giving a penalty corner away from the restarts that Hampstead get in their 23. Yeah, if they play that out, yes, that's almost what you want them to do, really, just so that you can get set and see everything in front. I quite like to see a restart that goes direct because it causes all kind of problems for the defence. But Hampstead are looking to protect this 3-2 lead. Feel confident in their ability to pass it around. We'll see lots of time off the clock by holding possession. He's done it.
Pressure from
Jamie Rawlings actually.
my apologies.
Yeah. And again, that's just a bit of a turnover that could have been avoided, I think. Dangerous. This is, we know what they're looking for, and excellent work again. Well, if there's one thing that Stephen Wood as coach will be pleased with, it will be that defensive work in the D. Now, what have we got here? Outside, right forward. Laid up to Henry Croft. Find a man. Brilliant. That on the reverse stick. And really well trapped now. Here we are in the D. Can we get something out of this? Oh, very well done.
And they've worked exceptionally well together.
Yeah. Well, again, Hampstead demonstrating that they can defend in the D as well. Because that was very well done. Bit of a shame, really, because the ball fed forward by Henry Croft. It was excellent.
Now we're less than 5 minutes out, Ross.
Yeah.
So we'll have to ask the management team, but my vote for waitlist time man of the match personally would go to Beeston as far as possible.
Yeah, been very good. He's been. It's nice to see him back in the team. It's helped no end, and still, Beeston find themselves in a deficit. Restart now. Here we go, because out of these last 4 minutes, Beeston need to get a D opportunity, at least one, maybe two, if they're going to have any chance. And in order to do that, we've got to get that there, get the ball there, and that's a lovely little connection. Very good indeed, and that's going to be foot on the edge of the D for a restart, and it's. Ooh, I think that's. Yeah, unfortunately, the stick tackle from Henry Croft just turned the ball over. Controlled Hampstead. Again, putting it somewhere safe and away from any danger. Excellent. But it hit a foot. Oh no. No, it's still with Hampstead. And that's found its way through. Lots of space there. Ability to get. And that puts paid. That puts paid to the game. Great finish. The ball found its way into a lot of space, and that was Joe Sharp, I think.
But we are having. Are we seeing a conversation with Neil Price? No, that's me.
There you go. Good trap. Found its way through quickly to the edge of the D. Joe Sharp, is it? I'm just can't see who that is. Well, I think that's a shame in a way, because Beeston had pressed hard and looked threatening on a couple of occasions for an equaliser, but Hampstead's calm defensive form has seen them through.
And that is full time, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's
clock
right.
is
That's the clock's
a bit far off. So I'm just going to talk to the crowd briefly. Not my faded out.
Yeah, so we've ended with a 4-2 deficit to Hampstead, who've shown through their organisation and structure, and certainly the goal-scoring prowess has taken them to the lead, and that's despite a fight back by Beeston, which almost got them back on level terms. They've held on to that win and take all 3 points. Great performance from Hampstead. Impressed with some of the Beeston work as well today, particularly defending work in the D. Just a shame that they weren't able to create that final penalty corner opportunity to get on level terms. Good game, good contest, very cold, and I think we could now say that the pitch is on the verge of actually freezing, but it's seen us through. And well done to the people that turned out and watched that game today. So until next time, which I think is probably a few weeks away now from BTV, isn't it?
We're having a sabbatical now. That's the last.
That's right.
The last BTV this side of Christmas.
And then plenty of fixtures after Christmas.
Absolutely. So please do keep following Beeston Hockey Club at official BHC on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Or if you're Elon Musk watching, X.
Yes.
But please do pay attention to the club's social media channels. We'll keep you up to date with the league, where it falls, where we're going to be this side of Christmas.
Yeah.
But
so we hope you've enjoyed that, and we look forward to presenting more games post-Christmas. And in the meantime, Kellen, thank you very much indeed.
thank you very much, Mus, and we'll see you all very soon.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.